Hello everyone and welcome back to Untitled. Today we're going to be discussing a YouTube channel that we've never discussed on this channel before, Goonzquad. By popular request in the last video, you guys were like, hey, gotta check out this channel and make a video on it. Now, full transparency, I'm not an OG Goonzquad watcher like I am with Stradman. I really don't know that much about the channel. However, don't skip this video if you are a Goonzquad OG, because I have put in the effort to find out every single car, and not just cars, that Goonzquad have ever done a rebuild on. So this is going to be quite a comprehensive video, however, not quite the same detail that I would have with a Stradman video. It's just going to be quick fire. So let's get into it. Every single car that Goonzquad have ever rebuilt. And we start off, well, not with cars at all. Their first few videos on the channel were just them messing about on some dirt bikes and quads. The typical sort of thing that I'm sure a lot of people do in the rural American countryside, and a representation of just how far they've come since then. They also have a video of them trying to drift a CBR 1000, which is pretty epic. That's a very high horsepower superbike. And there's a couple videos of Jeeps here and there, but the first car that we actually seem to see on the channel is a white Honda S2000, and I believe that this is the Honda S2000 that we see way later on in the channel. I'll talk about that later. And by the way guys, if there are inconsistencies in what I say here, feel free to roast me in the comments, because I'd like to know more about Goonzquad if I've made any errors. Next we have a Dodge Ram 3500, then another Dodge Ram. We've got a Jeep Rubicon Wrangler. They seem to absolutely love these Jeeps. It seemed to be their bread and butter in the beginning of the channel. Then we've got a Ford F-250 pickup truck, which seemed to become their shop truck for a while. And yet again, another Jeep Rubicon Wrangler, and a Jeep Wrangler that had originally been stolen, and they changed this thing up quite a lot. Really cool transformation on that. And now we get to the car that got me into cars, the Subaru Wrx. They did this thing up pretty nicely with some really aggressive looking lights, which I'm sure aren't to everyone's taste, but it made the transformation all the more dramatic. Following on from that, we've got some American muscle in the form of a Ford Mustang Gt. And what's cool about this is they didn't stop the build there. A couple months later, they eventually boosted this thing. Yes, they put a turbo on the Ford Mustang, which is quite the feat, and they even got that GT500 front bumper on it, which just looks so perfect. And from their first bit of American muscle to an American muscle god, they got a Corvette Z06. This car looks so mean in black. Following the Z06, we had another seriously menacing American muscle car, the 707 brake horsepower Dodge Hellcat. This was American muscle in its purest form. Then they got that lovely blue Camaro ZL1, or ZL1 as my American viewers will say. And a stunning 1 of 93 in the world Dodge Viper TA. I think that means time attack. Dodge Vipers are ridiculously fast cars in the right hands, and this is no exception. Just look at that orange paintwork, it is stunning. And their second Japanese car to keep all of you JDM boys happy. I know it's not JDM, but it's a Japanese car. The Nissan R35 GTR, which unfortunately they actually ended up crashing later on, so they had to do 2 rebuilds on this vehicle. And then they had their road legal sort of track day weapon car, which was based on a Chevrolet Cobalt SS, I believe. They just take out that really powerful 4-cylinder turbo power plant and put it in something that basically weighs the same as an ant. Mental build. Then we've got the 370Z drift car. I love the body kit in this thing. I love the wheels. Just such a cool, classy build. And then we get to the car which featured in the first video that I personally ever watched of Goonzquad's, and I'm sure many of you guys did as well. It was their Huracan LP580-2 that was completely destroyed, and then they rebuilt. This car also had some pretty cool features too, such as the LP610 front bumper, which in my opinion looks a hell of a lot better than the LP582's front bumper, although you do get that rear-wheel drive still, which is so much fun. This is currently the only Lamborghini they've ever done, but I seriously hope they do another Lamborghini rebuild. Then we have the Ferrari 458 Spider rebuild. This car was in white and it actually had a pretty cool body kit, but the body kit on that car was nowhere near as crazy as the GT3 kit they put on the next Ferrari 458 Italia that they did a build series on. This car was a coupe instead of a Spider and had an incredibly amazing GT3 kit, although it doesn't look quite as cool as TJ Hunt's old one. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me on that or not. Following on from the exotics, they went out and got a boat, which is incredible. I think Biz for Build also did a boat build, I believe, so that was kind of a trend at that time. And then a vehicle that some people would also call a boat, the 2019 GMC Duramax. I think this truck was basically replacing their Ford F-250 as a shop truck. Pretty cool, and on some really meaty, huge wheels. Then we had the DRZ 400 Supermoto. I won't pretend to know anything about that. Then the Dodge Charger police car. This thing looks so menacing. Police cars in the US will always be more intimidating than the Vauxhalls and Skodas that you get over here. Then the Canaan Maverick X3 Turbo. That thing looks like a lot of fun. We've seen a lot of YouTubers like Cletus and Adam LZ getting Can-Ams recently. Oh, and TJ Hunt, of course, with the huge off-road track that he has in his backyard. Can-Ams look like a lot of fun, especially if you've got a lot of land like these guys. And then a simply ginormous truck which would not work on UK roads, the Ford F450 Platinum. Words can't begin to describe how scared I would be to drive this down a tight, windy road in Ireland. Then the Honda S2000, which I think is the one that I talked about earlier. They revamped this car a lot and changed it to green, which is unique and pretty cool. Fair play to them. Then they went back to their heritage and built another Jeep, but this time it was a Gladiator Rubicon, because of course those cars had a hype train of their own on YouTube. Then they built their dad's dream truck, an old Dodge Ram. As you can tell, I don't know that much about Dodge Rams, but what a lovely gesture to their father. And then things really started getting wacky. They built what is their self-proclaimed world's largest forklift, which, yeah, I'll admit, pretty damn large. And potentially even wackier, the ultimate apocalypse vehicle, which was this gigantic camo sort of army truck. And believe it or not, they made it into the ultimate apocalypse vehicle. I love the variety in this. They're not just going with 600 horsepower Lamborghinis or hopping on JDM trends. They're really trying a bit of everything here, which is something so cool. Then they went for their most powerful Jeep ever, which was the 2018 Jeep Trackhawk. Those things are monsters. I believe they have the Hellcat 700 horsepower engine, which is just nuts to me. And then of course another hype train car, the 2020 Toyota Supra, one of Stradman's favorite cars as well. I hope that Stradman buys another one. And you'll see what I mean even more so with them doing the wacky builds. Then they went on to a Robinson R22 helicopter. A helicopter rebuild is just breaking new bounds on automotive YouTube because, well, it's not even automotive anymore. And then they had, and I'm not joking, a 90+ part series on them building their Goonzquad headquarters. And this is cool to me because I think that Stradman intends on doing something very, very similar. And I got so excited watching this and seeing how well it was received by all of you guys, because obviously it was very entertaining, and it just gets me even more hyped up for not only Goonzquad's future, but Stradman's future building his new house. Then we have the Ford Raptor. I actually saw one of these the other day on our roads. They're not imported here in the UK, and my goodness, the road presence of that thing. I was very scared in my little MX-5, or yeah, that's you guys over there. And then the last three vehicles, we've got a jet boat, as you do. We have a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro Ss, which looked in very bad condition. This build, as of yet, has not been completed, so I'm excited to see that. And finally, we have the first electric car that they've done, the Tesla Model X. I mean, what an eclectic range of cars. As we've seen there, we've got cars all the way from 1967 up to 2020 with that 2020 Supra. We've got trucks, we've got cars that are barely more than rolling chassis, we've got boats, we've got forklifts, we've got helicopters. Goonzquad seem to have broken new bounds in automotive YouTube, and I'm so glad that you guys have recommended me to watch more of their videos, because yeah, I'm so excited to see where they go, because every single new avenue that they take seems to make automotive YouTube just that little bit more interesting. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're a Goonzquad OG and this is your first time on the channel, welcome to the channel, and please feel free to let me know any interesting facts about Goonzquad in the comment section below, because I need to catch up. I've obviously been very far behind on Goonzquad content, but for now, thank you so much for watching, and to my other subscribers that are returning to the channel, thank you so much for watching yet another video. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.